We've all been there before. At some point in your life, you've probably experienced stress, whether at work, in your relationships, in your studies, or at home. That's why today I thought I'd talk about some of the techniques that help me cope and regulate stress when I'm feeling a lot of pressure and overwhelm. Stress doesn't always have to be bad. It can also be a good thing. It can help us, perform under pressure. It can help us focus. But beyond a certain point, it can cause a lot of damage to our health. You know how sometimes when you're stressed, there's that emotional tension, or you always feel like you're on the edge. Now, these heightened emotions can get pretty overwhelming. Now, making time for yourself to do some of your favorite self-care routines, like having a nice warm bath or preparing your favorite cup of tea, are both really helpful strategies. But in this video, I'd like to explore other ways in which we can support ourselves through our mental and our emotional stress. When things start to get really frustrating, I tend to get so caught up with trying to find the right solution to fix the problem. Tend to be so consumed with wanting to move forward that I sometimes forget that there are also other ways to fix the problem. But over time, I realized that taking a step back when the tension is already starting to peak is a pretty good way to eliminate some blocks and help me reset and refocus. I personally like to take a few minutes to do some stretches or to do some breathing exercises. But if I have the time, I usually go for a quick walk. You can also journal if you have that practice, just to let your thoughts out. But you can also meet up with a friend just to, regroup and kind of allow your mind to think about something else for a bit. Giving myself some time to just shake it off, even if it means, momentarily removing myself from the situation, just to kind of put a pin on the thoughts or the activities that's causing all the stress, can make a big difference. Usually when we hit a block, instead of, beating ourselves up or trying to put all of your energy into just coming up with this one solution that we think will solve all the problem, sometimes I feel like the best thing that we could do is just to take a step back and really take a break, get some rest, get some air, clear the mind, and just release the tension. This break gives us a space to kind of broaden our perspective so that we can go back to our tasks feeling more refreshed and more open to new ideas. Sometimes when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I notice that the thoughts that are playing in my head are not exactly the most empowering nor motivating. Sometimes I even get distracted with, the progress and the efforts of others, and this can really put me down. Apart from our workload and other responsibilities, sometimes our stress can also be a result of the amount of pressure that we put upon ourselves. So trying to check the thoughts that are running through my mind when I'm feeling really stressed can greatly affect how I show up for the situation. Often when I have disempowering thoughts like, why am I even doing this? Or is this even worth it? Or, what if it doesn't work out? These disempowering thoughts can really dampen our motivation and eventually weigh us down. And when I start noticing them, I try and check for ways in which I can replace those thoughts with, more empowering ones. Self-affirmation works well for other people, but for me, I find that going back to my why and the reason why I'm doing it, and the reason why I got inspired to even commit myself to do it in the first place, kind of brings me back to my motivation and empowers me to move forward. In our quest to reach our goals, sometimes it can get pretty intimidating seeing all the tasks that we need to tackle in order to get there. In one of my favorite books, The Obstacle is the Way, Ryan Holiday talks about following the process by setting aside thoughts of how to get from here to there and instead breaking everything down one task at a time. We sometimes tend to be so focused on our goals and, getting to the finish line that we overlook the importance of all the other steps that will also lead us to our end goal. You can't eat a full burger in one single bite, right? So taking one clear move after another, little by little, moving forward, and taking your time to kind of deal with the task that's right in front of you, and then coming back to the others later and reminding ourselves that, things don't have to happen all at once, can take away a lot of pressure and give us a chance to be fully present for the matters that require our immediate attention. So whether you're chasing one of your big, amazing goals or you're just trying to survive a challenging ordeal, Following this approach can make things more manageable and a lot less stressful. And while you're at it, don't forget to celebrate the small wins and give yourselves a pat on the back for all your efforts and for overcoming the challenges along the way. There are times when it feels like we've already done everything we could in order to reach a certain outcome, but somehow things still won't seem to go as planned. We feel helpless and hopeless, and the stress that comes with being let down can be quite discouraging. As the ancient serenity prayer says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I can't change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Sometimes taking a step back and asking ourselves, which of these things are within my control and which ones are not? What is within my power and what's not? No matter how much you complain, if the traffic is really bad, no amount of honking or cursing will help you get to your destination faster. I personally like to structure my day a certain way, but I've also noticed that knowing when to go with the flow allowed me to turn my attention to the things that I can change and I can do something about. Some of the things we tend to worry about are simply not in our hands, and recognizing that the time that we spend trying to resist where we are is the time that we can use on things that we can change. Or just simply ask yourself, does getting overly worked up provide you with more options? Experiencing stress may sometimes bring out the worst in us, and I'm pretty sure that none of us enjoys being in that state, right? But also remembering that this is something that happens to a lot of us. You know, we're all human, and what's important is how we show up for ourselves during these difficult times. I know that we all have our own different ways to deal with stress. That's why if you have any practices or if you have any techniques that you'd like to share, please feel free to write them down in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, I hope you guys found this video helpful. Don't forget to take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.